A very good morning to you. Today we're going to talk about challenges. In life, we cannot escape challenges. There will be problems, but most of these problems are small and we can overcome them because we know that these are routine problems. However, there comes a time in our life as we lead our daily lives, a challenge will come like a ton of bricks. Some challenges come like a ton of bricks and hit us so hard that it takes our breath away. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to focus. We don't know how to organize our next steps, and we are so lost. And we just feel so depressed. Now, what did Jesus do? Let's read from the book of Mark when Jesus goes on a boat and there's a huge storm that comes on, and let's see what he does. The reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark, chapter 4, verses 35 to 41. With the coming of evening, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let us walk over to the other side." And leaving the crowd behind, they took him, just as he was in a boat. And there were other boats with him. Then it began to blow a gale, and the waves were breaking into the boat so that it was almost swamped. But he was in the stern, his head on the cushion, asleep. They woke him and said to him, "Master, do you not care? We are going down." And he woke up and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Quiet now, be calm." And the wind dropped, and all was calm again. Then he said to them, "Why are you so frightened? How is it that you have no faith?" They were filled with awe and said to one another, "Who can this be? Even the wind and the sea obey him." And now, given that most of the time we are not like Jesus, we are not able to tell the challenge to go away, but what we can do is be calm. And how do we be calm? How can we be calm? Is that we focus on what is the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario in any situation is death, that we die, or somebody that we love dies. And that is really not a bad thing. The reason we think it is so bad is because ingrained in our genetic coding is self-preservation. And because we don't know, most of the time the challenge is so insurmountable and so great and makes us really panicky, is because we don't know what is on the other side. We have never experienced how we're going to move forward. And when it's because we don't know the future, and that makes us very scared, right? So if you understand that the worst case scenario is not so bad after all, the worst case scenario, you die. So what? It's going to get better. If you can program that in your head, or even the worst challenge that you come across, what is the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario is you lose all your money. So what? As long as you have your health, your brains, think about what you have, give gratitude for what you have, and then you can move forward. So it's all a matter of perspective, which is not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but if you can think of the worst case scenario, the worst case is what? The worst case is either a lesson for us to learn. It is always a good case. We learn, but we have not lost it all. We may lose our ego, maybe our pride, maybe even lose our life, but at the end of the day, it is not so bad because there's always something better. Life is a cycle. It always moves ahead. It always metamorphosizes into something else. It changes its form, but it moves on. So that's my thought for today. Take on any challenge as something that you can come off it not worse off, but better off. With that, I'd like to end my thought for today. Have a good day.